Hello and welcome to It's Tea Time. I'm your host, Jonathan Sellers. And this week, to start things off, we're joined by the head coach of the men's tennis team, and that's Coach Scott Kidd. And Coach, first off, congratulations on your Sun Belt Championship.
Thank you so much.
I know that's very exciting for your team. Let's talk about how you got there. You had a strong tournament run, and then things wrapped up against South Alabama, so that had to be very intense just considering the rivalry.
Yeah, I mean, it was an interesting weekend with all the weather conditionings, a lot of rain delays. So Saturday, initially we were supposed to play Lafayette, which that's the only team we had not played in the conference, at 3 o'clock that afternoon. Then it was announced we was going to play at 8 o'clock that morning, try to beat the rain. Of course, the rain came, so finally we got on the courts around 1:30, started the match with them. It was interesting. It's always dangerous to play a team you've not played or
Right.
even seen before. So, but the guys, I think they showed up. They played with such passion, and they came out just so fired up. The energy was amazing. And typically we start with doubles, but because of the rain, we actually started with singles.
Okay.
So we managed to get through that match 4-0 and get done quick. And then, of course, I always kind of felt if we got through a match, we'd play South Alabama. And I knew it was going to be tough because in our previous meeting this year, we had won 4-3. And they had a few changes in their lineup. So it was tough. It came down just like the first match, the number 3 doubles. Hassan and Andre were down 4-1 in that pro set, came back and never lost another game, won it 8-4, played amazing. And then, of course, in the singles, Hassan played exceptionally well in the Sun Belt, finished this match really quick, put us up 2-0. Giovanni, who's been like a really solid base for us at the bottom, won at 6. And then, of course, Gable was playing, the Sun Belt Player of the Year. Was in the third set, had 2 match points. Pablo was battling. Andy was cramping. So it was a lot of emotions and things going on at one time. We had 2 players cramping. At one point, the match, if we hadn't really capitalized on some key points, the match could actually turn and went their way because we had lost at 4 singles. So the guys managed to stay focused and managed to keep the energy. We had a tremendous support there with the guys that were on outside the court, some fans who showed up, some family members and stuff. So it turned out to be a beautiful day on Sunday. So everything went in our favor. And of course, beating South Alabama is always a big thing here for us.
And I know earlier in the year you said that if your team could just stay healthy and put things together, that you really thought they could do something because of the talent they had. Do you think they've really hit their peak right now?
Yeah, I think that they have. I think when we went down 2 weeks previous down to Florida and we lost that match, got upset by Central Florida, I think it come at a good time. I hate losing, but we had been on a winning streak, 10-match winning streak, and I think the guys had got a little complacent, a little comfortable. So that kind of shook us up, and then we rebounded, beating Rollins, and then a big win over North Florida, who was ranked. So we got right back on the track, and I have to say they went into conference focus and finish focus. They were really, there was in a lot of conditions. Like I said, the weather, the humidity, cramping, and we still were able to, to come out as the champions.
Now, you have got the automatic bid for the Sun Belt for the regionals. Do you have any inside information about what's going to happen? What's the word?
If you look at the rankings, typically in the past they try to put you economically in a geography in a close seeded place. So if you look at the regions, there's Athens, Georgia will be hosting, Ole Miss will be hosting. You've got Duke and Wake Forest up in North Carolina that will be hosting. So I think any of those are a possibility. I think, me personally, I'm looking maybe going back to Ole Miss. We had that really close match earlier this year indoor with them. I think that we have a really good opportunity if the guys stay focused. This is a very tough week. Finals. We really can't have one combined practice because they all have different testing times. So we're just having to have different practices throughout the day and keep the guys focused. And of course, we want them to do well in their finals as well. So, it's an important week. And of course, next week will be, kind coming down to, we'll know tomorrow where we're going, but hopefully it'll be close to home. We have a lot of people come out and support us.
And your team has prepared well throughout the beginning of the year with a strong out-of-conference schedule. You think that is going to help you prepare you for right now for these regionals against those teams?
No doubt about it. If you look at our results, when this team plays a top 20 team, that's when they play their best. They step up. We've been a little short in those matches, losing, to Tennessee, to Ole Miss, 3-4, and even playing Florida close. But I think we've matured a lot. This is a very young team. A lot of people don't know, a brand new team. So they've grown a lot. They still have more room to grow. But as some coaches says, they're probably one of the most dangerous teams in the country. They can beat anybody if they're all playing, good the same day. So we have a lot of expectations. We continue to push them, to encourage them, to let them know that they still have not reached their potential. So we want them to understand that they still have so much more to do and to give on the court.
Well, Coach, it's an exciting time right now, and hopefully y'all can make a strong run and hopefully get a good placement in the regional.
Yes, thanks so much.
All right, and stay tuned for more coming up on It's Tea Time. And welcome back to It's Tea Time, and it's time to talk a little baseball with the pitching coach for the Trojans, and that's Coach Brad Phillips. And Coach, a strong weekend for your team, a sweep over Texas State here at home over the weekend. Something you've got to be happy with the team playing better right now.
Very happy. Coach Pierce, he challenged our club on Thursday, kind of laying it all out where we needed to be, what we needed to do. And a sweep this past weekend was the starting point that he challenged our guys with, and they responded. And so it was a good week. All in all, midweek and then the weekend, it was a good week.
And really, starting pitching, and that's been a key for y'all, especially those weekend starters, paid off again. Grant Bennett and then Lucas Brown really pitched well to start things off.
Those two guys have really set the tone on the weekend for us. That's why we've had the success that we've had on the weekend. Grant Bennett going a complete game on Friday, and then Lucas Brown coming in with 7 strong on Saturday. That's 16 of the 27 innings right there that were taken care of 2 guys. So that definitely helps. And then to dominate those innings as well, which is what they've done. Not only have they pitched those innings, but they've dominated when they've been in there.
Now this week you've got the midweek off, then you get ULM on the road this weekend. What do you know about them?
They're a club that's improved. They're a dangerous club. They've got a couple of arms that pretty good offensively. They're about like everybody else in our league. So it's going to be a challenge on the road. Monroe's always a tough place to play. No midweek this week allows us to kind of, regather and regroup and get prepared for this final run for conference. These last nine games, 3 weeks. So the bye in the midweek comes at a good time. Gets us prepared for the tough road trip and the tough finish ahead.
And then something else that's happening is it's finals week, or classes are ending, finals will be coming up. So the players won't have to be worrying as much about going to class and normally their daily routine. They'll get to worry a little more about baseball once finals are over for sure. But does that help you as coaches out?
It does, definitely. We're taking this next 24, 48 hours to get the guys organized for the week and making sure that we're prepared for the road trip ahead and making sure classes are taken care of and finals and so on. So no midweek this week and having a little time to breathe definitely helps.
All right, and I know, as you said, conference, you still got a few more weekends, but just looking ahead, what's the road ahead getting to conference? You've got a few more weekends, South Alabama, I know, at the end of the season. Who do you have in between then?
We've got Monroe, of course, this weekend. We're home versus Georgia State, which is currently in the lead.
Right.
And then South Alabama, which I believe right now is right around second or third. So we've got our the roads kind of mapped out for us. We need to take care of our own business, right, and some good things can happen. But it's so jumbled up in the top of the standings right now. The top 5 teams in the conference have kind of separated themselves from everyone else, and there's only a 1.5 to 2 game difference between first and fifth right now, and so it's going to be a crazy ending to the league. There's some key matchups over the next couple of weeks that it'll be interesting to see how it turns out. And
conference is at home this year, so you're battling for that top spot so you can have a better road for a good run in the conference tournament here at home.
We're trying to position ourselves the best we can However, we're still on the championship mindset.
Right.
We're not trying to, settle for getting into a certain spot of the tournament right now. We're still got our minds locked in on regular season championship, and then see what happens from there. But we do have we do host, so that's going to be in our favor. Always playing at Riddle Pace is, definitely an advantage for our clubs, and other clubs don't like coming in here and playing.
Right.
So hosting the tournament, getting ourselves in the best possible position, going into the tournament is definitely something that we've got to strive on.
All right, Coach. Well, thank you for joining us, and good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you, Jonathan.
All right, stay tuned for more coming up on It's Tea Time. And welcome back to It's Tea Time for our final look, and we're going to look at the softball team who's been on quite a roll recently, and talk with the head coach of that program, Coach Beth Mullins. And Coach, thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
And Coach, a sweep this weekend. You got rained out on Saturday, so you didn't get to play one of the games, but you were able to win the doubleheader on Sunday against a good team in UT Arlington. And talk about that.
Well, every conference series in the Sun Belt is going to be a dogfight, and Arlington is no different. They're a great hitting team and well coached, and we knew we were going to have our work cut out for us. Unfortunately, we did not play Saturday, but I think our girls did a good job of showing up early on Sunday morning and playing at 9 o'clock, which is not a usual game time, and played really well. I was proud of the way they played.
It seems like a lot of the teams this year have had to deal with the weather and just circumstances. Does that affect y'all at all? You just play when you have to play.
It's just part of it. When you're an outdoor sport, I can't imagine what it would be not worrying about the weather. When you're an outdoor sport that plays in February till May, you're going to deal with the cold, the rain, the snow and everything, and I think our girls are used to it. We've been lucky enough to get most of our games in and not have that big of a. But we talk about hitting the curveball and just, figuring it out, and they did.
So you learned to become a good meteorologist.
Yes, I say that's like a part-time job, meteorology.
But now you've only got a few games left in the regular season, and they're going to be here this weekend against South Alabama. A good rivalry game, a great Sun Belt series, and a good way to end the regular season. What's the focus this weekend?
We've really focused on playing one game at a time, and not really focusing so much on our opponent, but how we can get a little bit better every day. And I think our girls have done a good job of that. South Alabama obviously has a great tradition of softball. Becky Clark. She and I go a long way back, and she's done a great job with them. And I love that we're both Alabama teams, and it's going to be a great series no matter what. And we're at home. We love being at home. We have a really good record at home, and I think we were on the road there for a little while and came back and have been enjoying it quite a bit.
Now you get to end the season at home. It's also senior weekend. Talk about some of the seniors. It is your first year, but I'm sure those people that you've relied on to kind of take the lead of the team.
Yeah, I tell everybody, everybody's like, well, how have y'all had this, you've had a much better year. How are you? It doesn't matter how good you coach or what your vision is. If you don't have your seniors that buy in, it doesn't really matter. So I think the success that we've had this season, especially recently, has been a huge deal because our seniors have bought in, and Michelle Phelps, Chelsea Eitel, Sarah Thomas, and JC Eiffelt, they all have just been incredible, and I could not be more pleased with how those four have responded for only having a year, but they have all made big impacts on this program.
And those games will be Saturday doubleheader, and then final game on Sunday, right?
Yep, 1 o'clock and 3 o'clock on Saturday, and then 1 o'clock on Sunday.
All right, and then the following week is when the Sun Belt tournament is. So give us some scenarios of what plays out this weekend and maybe where y'all will be placed in the tournament.
Yeah, the first through fourth seeded teams in our conference get a bye the first round. So I think anytime you can get in the top four, that's going to be huge. And I think we're in a good place right now, sitting in third. And again, I tell the girls not to scoreboard watch or Sun Belt conference standings watch, because you just got to take each game at one time. But I think the Sun Belt's a great softball conference. It's a great conference in general, and no matter where we are, I think it's going to be a dogfight every game this in 2 weeks up in San Marcos, and we're just going to take it one game at a time, one pitch at a time.
All right, Coach. Well, looking forward to that, and hopefully your team can play well this weekend and then have a good run in the tournament.
That's the plan.
All right, Coach. Thank you.
Thank you.
And join us again in August when we return for more on It's Tea Time.